and salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today we're going to be doing Get to Know the Romance Reader tag. Happy February 1st. February is one of my favorite months. It's a very busy month. I have my mom's birthday, my sister's birthday, my dad's birthday. Literally, we have I think 5 birthdays in February, and it is also the month of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is hands down my favorite holiday, even above Christmas. Whenever I say Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday, people are always like, but why? And I'm like, because it's the holiday of love, and I love love, and it doesn't have to be romantic love. You can definitely show love towards a family member or a friend or even yourself. Come on, Valentine's Day is poppin'. All that said, I thought it would be fun to post a video every day leading up to Valentine's Day. So that is, if things go according to plan, 14 videos back to back. You guys will get tired of my face. I wanted to do Vlogmas back in December, and I think I got to day 6. It did not work out, so I'm hoping to redeem myself. But sometimes life happens, and who knows if I'll actually do 14 videos. So it's not a for sure thing, but it's something I'm trying out. Okay, that is enough rambling. I wanted to start off these series of videos by doing the Get to Know the Romance Reader tag. I have seen a lot of my friends do this. I think this was originally created by the lovely Bree Hill. I will link her information down below. I absolutely love her Instagram. I always find the best recommendations for her. I have some new subscribers, so in case you don't know who I am, my name is Samantha. I'm 23 years old. I'm Puerto Rican, and I love all things romance. Basically, this tag is just getting to know me, getting to know my reading taste. I thought it'd be fun to start my videos off with a fun fact about me and also what I'm reading. So a fun fact about me that is not book related is I have a sweet tooth. I have a massive sweet tooth. Cheesecake, chocolate cake, cupcakes, chocolate chip cookies, ooh, cookies, ice cream. Oh my God, everything. Just candy, Mexican candy, sour candy, savory candy, just literally everything. Get it in my belly. I have a massive sweet tooth. So that is a fun fact about me. Let me know a fun fact about you. And also, I am currently reading Caught Red-Handed by Ellie Alexander. This is the 4th book in, ironically, the Bake Shop Mystery series, which is a cozy mystery that has a baking element to it. So, it kind of ties in with me having a sweet tooth. Okay, I'm feeling really chatty, probably because I took a little bit of break from filming, but let's stop ranting and get to the first question. So numero uno is, what is your romance origin story? So I do have a video on my channel. I think I titled it how I started reading or something like that. I will link it down below because I remember my reading journey all the way back to the 2nd grade. And I know that sounds weird, but I vividly remember my 2nd grade teacher reading us the American Girl or American Doll series every day that we would come back from our 2nd break. She would read that story for us. She would let us rest our head on our desks. And I just remember it being my favorite time. And after that grade, I consistently remember a lot of my teachers, my 3rd grade teacher, my 5th grade teacher, my English teacher that I had my freshman year. So many teachers that really instilled my love of reading, which I'm so incredibly thankful for. My family also really gave me that love for reading. I remember when I was a kid, my mom would be like, okay, if you finish a book and you do a little book report, I'll give you $20. Obviously, she had to stop that because I was reading so many books that she was like, okay, you can't get any more money. I will leave that video down below because I have a lot of childhood books and memories of how I started reading. I didn't originally start off in romance, I think. It was more so just young adult books. But romance in particular, when I was in high school, I read a lot of paranormal romance. I was very into vampires and werewolves. Twilight series was a popular one in my school. The House of Night series was another popular one. A lot of paranormal romance was very popular when I was in high school. After high school, I kind of took a break from reading, just my job got in the way. To be honest, I was reading books that I felt like I had to read because they were popular, highly rated on Goodreads, getting critically acclaimed awards, or people on BookTube were talking about it, but it just wasn't my niche. So I kind of fell out of reading for a while, and then I discovered BookTube. And so what got me back into reading, wow, this is the longest romance origin story ever. I'm so sorry. I'm feeling very chatty. Me back into reading romance in particular was I was reading a lot of like contemporary, fun, fluffy romances, especially the type of books that Christina Lauren comes out with. I distinctly remember reading Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, and I read that like 3 times in a row because I adored it so much, and that was just like something that catapulted me into the romance community. As far as my channel goes, I feel like my brand is definitely historical romance. I like all types of romance, to be honest, but I specifically adore historical romance, and I found that because of the historical romance readathon back in March of 2020. My first historical romance I remember reading was Suddenly You by Lisa Kleypas. I love Lisa Kleypas. She's one of my favorite authors. The story follows Amanda, who is just about to hit her 30th birthday, and she decides to treat herself and hire a male escort, if you will. She ends up mistaking our hero for a male escort, but he is actually a writer who wants to publish her book, and it follows their very steamy love story. So yeah, this was a great first book to read to get me into that genre. Okay, so the next question is, if you could be the heroine in a romance novel, who would be the author, and what's one trope you'd insist to be in the story? Oh, that is such a hard question. Immediately, I'm like, friends to lovers. That is my favorite trope. Like, I adore friends to lovers. Like, I can imagine, like, I'm in a bookstore. Oh my goodness, I can totally imagine it. I'm in a bookstore. Okay, I'm setting the scene for you guys. Are you ready? I'm in a bookstore, looking real cute, looking for some historical romances, and I reach for a book, and at the same time, a guy reaches for that same book, and our hands collide, and there's magic. Maybe we go to like a coffee date afterwards, and we become friends who bond over books, and then, you know, romance. I literally just described that one book by Lucy Eden. What is it called? It's a novella. It's like My Bookstore Boyfriend. What is it called? I'm gonna put it on the screen. Literally what I just described is that book. Maybe my love story that I star in is already written. You know, that's the book right there. I don't know if I really answered that question, but there you go. Next up, what is a romance you've read this year that you want more people to read? That is an easy one. It is Truth or Dare by Daniel Allen. This is ironically a friends to lovers romance. It follows our main characters who have been friends since college, and they're meeting back up in their 30s because one of their friends are getting married. At the wedding, they start playing a game of Truth or Dare, and they get dared to kiss each other. Some chemistry that they didn't realize was there shows up, and they're trying to navigate their friendship and also this new chemistry. It is sexy, it is steamy, it is beautiful. I love this book so much, and I need everybody to read it. Like, everybody. Next up is, what is your favorite subgenre? Historical romance. Boom. Easy. I love that genre. And then the next question is, what subgenre have you not read much from? Fantasy romance. I cannot remember the last time I read a fantasy romance. And paranormal, which is so funny because I talked about how I used to only read paranormal romances, but now I really don't read that much paranormal. I feel like I read a lot of novellas, a lot of historical romances, but not a lot of fantasy. So if you have any fantasy recommendations, let me know. 5, who is one of your auto-buy romance authors? So many, but the first that comes to mind is Katie Roberts. She writes some very sexy, taboo novellas and novels that I cannot get enough of. Like, I adore her Wicked Villain series. I think with her, it's more like an escapism read. I definitely will read and buy anything Katie Roberts comes out with. Beverly Jenkins as well. Like, that is my holy grail author. Lisa Kleypas, my holy grail author. So a lot of authors for sure. I've also read everything that Christina Lauren has come out with because I really do like them. Even though I feel like I haven't vibed with some of their latest books, I still read them. Number 6, how do you typically find romance recommendations? YouTube mainly. I mean, there is a plethora of amazing romance booktubers that are just so talented, so creative, and I find so many recommendations for them. I just add everything to my Goodreads or on my notes app on my phone. Also, have been finding a lot of recommendations on Instagram. There are some really dope Instagram pages that give some amazing recommendations. Next question, what is an upcoming romance release you're excited for? I have a lot. I don't think I've answered like one question with just one answer, but here we go. Wild Rain by Beverly Jenkins. It comes out February 9th. It is the second book in the Woman Who Dare series. Again, I will buy everything Beverly Jenkins comes out with. Her covers are gorgeous. Her stories are so well written. It's just the epitome of historical romance and everything I love in that genre. So absolutely excited for that one. I think Lacey got an arc for it and she said it was good, so. Other one is Air by Katie Roberts. This is also a second in the series. It's part of her, what is the series called? Bloodline Vampire series. It comes out February 15th. And holy guacamole, I am waiting for this book. I ended on a cliffhanger. I need to find out what happens. It's very steamy. It's like a reverse harem book with 3 guys and 1 girl. And I am here for it. I'm here for it. So I cannot wait for the second book. Okay, number 8. What is one misconception about romance you would like to lay to rest? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Do you have time? Like, do you have time? I literally could do a whole video on this. So many misconceptions about romance. So much bullshit. All right, let me break it down for you. Number 1 thing I want to say is romance is not a guilty pleasure, okay? You don't ever have to feel guilty about something that makes you happy and does not harm other people. Point blank, period. Like, it bothers me when people say things like, oh, it was good for a romance, or oh, that's just a fluffy romance, or oh, I would never read a romance. Like, it's just, ma'am, can I speak to your manager? Like, when people see these sexy step backs and these sexy covers, they kind of make it a bit of a joke, and they think that romance isn't valid or real reading, or in comparison to, like, you know, nonfiction or historical fiction. It's a lot of things that I hear when people are talking about romance, and it really saddens me because romance is so much more than just a happily ever after. And I know Brie mentioned this in her tag as well. Romance, for me, is about, you know, I see a lot of like women empowerment. A lot of times in romance, I see people finding themselves, and it encourages me sometimes when I read a romance book. It definitely can uplift my spirits. And then you take books like Night Song or Indigo from Beverly Jenkins that are just so rich in history and culture. For someone to just say a book like that is cheesy or a guilty pleasure, it is doing the entire romance genre a disservice. Romance books can have lessons to them if that's what you're looking for in a book, but they can also just be immensely satisfying and joyful to read. So yeah, there are tons of stereotypes against romance and romance readers, and I just wish people would stop. Okay, stepping off of my soapbox on that one, the last and final question is, who is the most recent romance content creator you came across that you'd like to shout out? Oh, I need to do a whole video on this because there are just so many. One person that I really enjoy her energy, her personality, and her aesthetic pictures is Desiree from Genki Reader. She's one of my favorite people in like the entire world. And like, if you don't follow her on Instagram, what are you doing? She has the most aesthetically pleasing Instagram ever. She reads such like a vast majority of things. Like, she will read contemporary, she'll read historical, she reads anime. Like, she just reads so many things, and I always find really interesting recommendations for her. She's a total sweetheart, and it's like a travesty that she doesn't have like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of followers. Like, follow her for real. I could literally do a whole video on that, but that was kind of the YouTuber that came to mind. Another one who I just love her energy so much is Crystal from Crystal Bookish Life. Her reading vlogs are just my favorite things in the world. They make me happy every single time that I read them, and she is so passionate about reading romance and women empowerment and positivity and good health, and I just like everything that she exudes is amazing. So follow Crystal as well. Okay, so that is the Get to Know the Romance Reader tag. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the absolute world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you next time.